Hi, everybody. So in this reading, we're actually going to be looking at your numerology, your personal year number for 2020. And we're also going to be getting some tarot cards and oracle card insights into your year for the year 2020. So I do want to just briefly explain to you all how to calculate your personal year number. There are lots of calculators that you can find online. My problem with those is that a lot of them don't take into account the fact that you're not supposed to reduce a master number when you're calculating this personal year number. And the master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. And particularly if your master number is 22 or 33 this year, then it's not going to be accurate if you use one of those online calculators, but it's very easy to figure out your personal year number. If you already know what it is, go ahead and choose that. I'm doing this as a live stream, so if you're watching during the live stream, obviously there won't be timestamps. But if you're watching later on, just choose your timestamp down below in the description area and go directly to your personal year number, and we'll see what is going on for you in 2020 and how you can make the best use of the energies that are going to be presenting to you in the year. So I know in the thumbnail I didn't include 33 because for a moment I was thinking there wouldn't be anyone with that personal year number, but there is one date, and that's July 22nd. If your birthday is July 22nd, then you're going to have a 33 personal year in 2020. I've also listed all of the birth dates that you could possibly have that will give you a 22 personal year, so you can check out the description box to figure that out. And for all of you, I'm just going to do a quick run through again of how we calculate our personal year number. So let's imagine that your birth date is March 11th. Okay, it doesn't matter what year it is. So March 11th, so that's a 3 and then an 11. And then we're going to add in the year that we're trying to calculate the personal year for, which is 2020. So then we're going to reduce each of these. So 3 is just a single digit, so we're just going to pull that down. 11 is a master number, so we're not going to reduce that any further by the digits, so we'll keep that as 11. And then 2020, we're going to add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, because those are the digits. Okay, so if your birthday is March 11th, I'm doing the math for you. So 3 plus 11 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this comes down to an 18, and then we'll just add those digits together. 1 plus 8 equals 9. So if your birthday is March 11th, this is going to be a 9 personal year for you. So hopefully that helped you to figure this out. If you need a little more assistance, then there is a link in the description area that will take you to a website, to a woman who, I think the name was Cami Samuels. I don't know, but it's in the description area, and she has a really great tutorial for how to figure this out. So I think that's everything that I need to say. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the table so that we can get into personal year number 1. So for everyone whose personal year is going to be number 1, as soon as I've cleared the table, we'll see what's going on with you guys. I hope everyone's doing well. If you're watching during the live stream, welcome. Happy New Year. Thank you, Jay Wall. Thank you, Princess. Yeah, I've been having a good New Year so far. I think it was Princess, it was you that commented on one of my videos that you hadn't seen me in a while. I've just been getting personal readings up to date and also just spending time with family for the holidays. So I hope everyone has been having some good holidays, etc., and that the year finds you well. All right, so let's get into number 1. So first of all, let's talk about what a one personal year is. So what this means is that this is going to be the start of a new 9-year cycle. And so something new is going to present itself to you this year. It's going to be a new phase for you. You're going to be stepping into life fresh, like the slate is clean, and you could do anything with the next 9 years of your life. So it's kind of a really important, how do I want to start this race? How do I want to start this marathon type of year? The spirit animal that I have here that wants to give you a message for how to take best advantage of a one personal year is the ram. And the ram assists you in taking assertive initiative towards long-term goals. You become the leader of your own life this year. So you get to decide how you're going to use this year. And when opportunities present for something that's really going to pan out for you long-term, you're really going to go for it. So what about yourself, spiritually or otherwise, should you embrace to make the best use of this year? We have eternal child. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Well, this is very interesting because fresh eyes are all about what the number one personal year is about. So I feel like this is a really good year to see life differently, see life in a new way. What do you notice about your life that you never noticed before? What do you think you'd like to start doing in your life, doing with your life that you've never done before? This is a great year to embrace all of that. It's a great year to embrace joy, freedom. Yeah, and your guides want you to embrace this freedom of like really bursting into this beautiful new year. And you're free from everything that you left behind in the 9 personal year, because the 9 personal year was the end of a cycle. So 2019, the year that's just ending, there were lots of things that came to an end. And I feel like your guides want you to let that skin shed itself from you. You don't need what you left behind in 2019. You don't need that anymore. And just openly embrace all of the new energies that are coming in for you. We also have charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask and you shall receive. So I feel like this is going to be a year when it's very important for you to be connected with the divine and, in terms of your own understanding of what that means. Think about what this next 9 years is going to hold for you, or what you would most want to achieve. It's not just thinking about 2020, but let's think long term, because this is the beginning of a whole new 9-year cycle. What do you want to ask for? What do you want to ask for support in achieving in this next 9-year cycle? Finally, your tarot cards are conditioning. This is from the Osho Zen Tarot. This is the same as the Devil card. Beyond illusion. And morality. So I feel like this is a good year to embrace seeing beyond the ways that you've been conditioned to think. What has society taught you that maybe you're starting to doubt that you believe in anymore? Or what has tradition or religion taught you about right and wrong? I feel like your guides are saying this is a phase in which you can decide your own morality for yourself. You can decide what's right and wrong for you. You have a say in what justice truly is. All right? It isn't just up to other people to decide and determine that for you. So this is sort of a mentality to embrace and carry on throughout the year. All right, so I hope that was helpful. People who chose, or people who have the personal year number 1. Let's see what's going on for people who chose, or people who have the personal year number 2. Now, if you wanted to choose something in addition to your personal year number, you certainly could do that. Is everyone hearing the message well. I can't really see too much of, let me bring the camera down, then I can see a little bit better. And every now and then it pops up. All right, so a 2 personal year. So what does that mean? A 2 personal year is a very intuitive year. It's a year of balance and harmony, trying to really see things from other people's perspectives and understanding yourself through their perspectives as well. Hi, everybody. Hi, Happy Vibes. Hi, everybody in the live stream. So the animal that I have chosen, the spirit animal I've chosen to be sort of like a totem for you guys this year is the moth. So the moth is an animal that is comfortable with darkness. Moth people seek the light, but they can make mistakes along the way. Your fortune this year is in seeing the lessons inherent in making and recovering from mistakes. So if you've made mistakes in the past that you feel ashamed of or embarrassed of, or you just simply regret those mistakes, this is a year to really learn from those so that you don't have to make those mistakes anymore. This is about being in touch with your intuition the best you can, but understanding at the same time that nobody and nothing is perfect. So the moth spirit animal, let's see what else. What kind of energies can you embrace this year to best make use of 2020? We get the divine child. Innocence, purity, and redemption. Redemption, we were just speaking about that. Suggest a special connection with the divine. I feel like this is a year when you can really kind of make amends for certain mistakes that you have made throughout your life, and especially throughout the last 9-year period, because you're only in year number 2, so you're still embarking on this new 9-year period. So you're still kind of fresh into it, and this is a year when you can redeem yourself and make up for anything that you wish you had done differently. This is also a year when, if you're really staying in touch with your intuition, you can manifest wonderful things for yourself. Everything that you've wanted to create, turn those mistakes you've made in the past into opportunities. Learn from them and then create a new and better life for yourself. Ooh, next we have Odin, Psychic Insight. So the 2 is a very psychic year. It's a great year for increasing your psychic ability. And this card says, your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. So yes, your intuition will definitely be strong this year. And try to follow that, because the more you get in touch with the power of your intuition, the more you'll be guided synchronistically towards these beautiful goals that you are manifesting for yourself. We also have control, playfulness, and fighting. So I feel like some of you guys are trying to find, the 2 is a number of harmony and balance, and you might be trying to find a balance between that part of yourself that wants to be playful and free and have fun, and that other aspect of yourself that kind of just wants to be in control and to be very rigid and rational and logical. I feel like this is a year when your best bet is when you allow yourself to do both. So if you feel like you're being a little bit too like type A and rigid and not having any fun, it's a good time to introduce a little bit more fun into your life so that the energies stay balanced. Likewise, if you're spending a little bit too much time partying and having fun and keeping your head in the clouds, it might be time to come down to earth a little bit more so that you can really focus on what you're trying to achieve. But ultimately, manifestation for you is going to require that you utilize both energies, that one of order and control and the energy of playfulness and lightheartedness and just being happy to be alive. And, sometimes that's enough. All right, so that's what I'm getting for the 2 personal year people. If you're just joining in on the live stream, you might want to read the description area for a little better insight into what we're doing here. All right, anybody in the live stream have a personal year 3 for 2020? We're about to learn what 2020 is all about for you, personal year 3 people. All right, so 3 is a number of creativity and abundance. It's like a man and a woman had a little child. Two separate elements come together to create this third element. So it's a beautiful card of creativity. It corresponds in tarot to the Empress card. So this is a very joyful, positive card. It's a very loving energy. It's a very kind of nurturing energy as well, the number 3. And the totem animal that I've chosen for you, personal year 3 people, is the rabbit. What the rabbit wants to say is that you're feeling quite adventurous and creative this year. You want to bring something beautiful and joyful into being. And indeed, your manifestations this year will bring great comfort and serenity. So you'll be creating things which actually create a more comfortable, satisfying life for you this year. It's a very important year for that. So how else can you really make the most of 2020? Interesting. We have Thief. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So I feel like this is going to be a year when, you can get more into this 3, this creative, abundant, happy, positive energy. If you start to see more clearly the wonderful qualities that you have, the wonderful attributes you have within yourself, because you're going to start to realize that you are your greatest resource when it comes to creating these wonderful energies in the world and in your life where you feel more comfortable and at ease and abundant. We also have believe in yourself. Yeah, so kind of the same energy here that I got from the Thief card. You really need to believe in yourself. You're not going to be able to create anything if you don't believe that you can create it. If you think, I can't ever draw a picture worth drawing, you're not going to do it, and the same holds true for other areas of creation. If you think I'm never going to be someone who's living my life purpose, then probably you won't, because that's the attitude you have, is not believing in yourself. So this is a year when believing in yourself, really seeing the light, the potential within yourself and what could be made with that potential. That's where the gold is for you this year. We also have Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. So this is very interesting. I feel like, now these were randomly chosen, these cards. I did purposefully pick a spirit animal for you, which was the rabbit. But these kind of all go together. Like, there's nothing is going to be able to stop you this year except for yourself. And I really feel like this is a very important year for you guys when it comes to being in alignment with your divine purpose and living purposefully. You're going to make great strides this year. If you're someone who's interested in that, this is going to be a great year. And the Empress card comes up, which in this deck is called Creativity. Gosh, so much synchronicity here. We also have the Sun card, which in this deck is the Innocence card. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. And then Success. Yeah, I mean, you have to start believing in yourself and believing that you can create joy and happiness and abundance and success. It's really about whatever you believe in, those highest possible outcomes, the highest good within yourself and within even other people. The more you can believe in that, the more that you will start seeing that being made concrete and real in your life. This is going to be a very joyful, positive, uplifting year for you guys who have the personal year number 3. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shift over. Anybody who's watching the live stream going to have a personal year number 3. It looks like a really good one. If you are watching during the live stream, the live stream comments just pop up every now and then on my phone screen, so I can't see a lot of what you all are typing. But I do appreciate you all watching. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into personal year number 4. So if you are going to have a personal year number 4, this is going to be a year where you really create firm foundations and structure. This can be a year where you really have to work hard. In the previous year, in 2019, you had a 3 personal year, which means that it was a very productive year. A lot of advancements were made in your life. And now in 2020, you're going to take advantage of all of the advancements you made in the past year, and you're going to use those to lay down firm foundations for yourself. Okay, now who is the spirit animal that wants to work with you? It is the ant, and I have a message for you from the ant. Ant says, you are building solid structures right now that will support your life and efforts towards achieving significant goals. Life might seem a bit slowed down this year, but next year things may seem too exciting. So use this year to rest up. So you might be a little bit sandwiched between two very momentous years. The 3 personal year and the 5 personal year can be very fast moving, especially the 5. And like the ant said to you, things might seem a little bit boring. It might seem a little bit too much about work this year, or just being responsible. But you're going to be thankful for that when this next year, the 2021 comes around, because that's going to be a time of like major changes, and you'll want to feel safe and secure before those big changes come into your life. So let's learn more about 2020. What can you do to really embrace that year? We have Wounded Child. A lot of the child cards are coming up in these readings. It says, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. So interestingly, I think one of the ways in which you can really create firm foundations for yourself this year is actually by working on healing your wounds and working on forgiving. And that means forgiving yourself, and it means forgiving other people. This awareness of, I don't need to be weighed down by the heavy energy of resentment and anger and hurt feelings anymore. That's going to really give you the foundation that you're looking for the remainder of this 9-year period. What else can these 4 personal year people do? Mother Mary. Again, this is a very strong energy of compassion. I feel like you're going to need to have compassion for yourself as well, because you might have some of these inner child wounds really come forward and present themselves and say, listen, you need to pay attention to me because I still need some healing here. And then healing those wounds is going to be hard work. You need to nurture yourself. You need to have good self-care. You need to learn how to lean on other people for support as well. Interesting. We have Mother Mary and then Isis. These are both, divine mother energies. Magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. So yeah, definitely the 4 personal year is a year to really stay focused and grounded. It may not be the most exciting energy, but it's going to be a year where you can really do some important things for yourself. I see this as a real year for self-care and being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself, taking it easy. You're going to be having to work hard. There's not going to be any choice in that in a 4 personal year, but you can choose how to take care of yourself through that process. Okay, we also have the 5 of Wands. This is the Osho Zen Tarot, and they call this totality. We have postponement, a 4 card. 4 of Swords. Then we have the Queen of Wands. This is a year to really create a vision for yourself. It's not as much a card about bringing in the changes as you're wanting to make in your life as it is preparing for those changes that you want to make in your life. So when the 5 personal year comes along, it's going to be scary, but you need to get yourself set up in the right way. These people have done here. They've aligned themselves so that when all those quick, chaotic changes of 2021 come around, you're going to be prepared for them. You're going to know exactly what you're going to do with those changes. And it's because you've created this safety and this contentment for yourself maybe it's a boring sort of a contentment. But sometimes it's good if things aren't too exciting. And that's what this year is. It's a year when you can see the vision of your future, but it might be postponed, and it might be just a year where you have to work hard to prepare yourself for it. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If 4 is your personal year for 2020. Let's see what's going to happen for the 5 personal years. Let's see what's going on here, guys. So first of all, if you have a 5 personal year, this is a card of changes, a number of changes, rather. So lots of new and interesting things are going to be happening in the 5 personal year. It can also be a year when you really embrace your freedom. And so the wild horse is the spirit animal that I wanted to choose to accompany you guys throughout the year. And the wild horse has this message for you. You'll feel stunningly ecstatic this year with all the freedom that is available to you. You feel a need to answer only to yourself, never anyone else. And this provides you a clear focus on your own desires. It's a year for much deserved selfishness. So in the 4 personal year, you may have had to put yourself to the side in order to be responsible. But in this 5 personal year, you're really going to embrace freedom, the freedom to really focus on yourself and what you want out of life. And it doesn't matter to you so much what other people are expecting from you, because you're willing to be an individual. You're willing to go against the grain a little bit this year. So how else can you take advantage of 2020? We have the Hermit card. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. So I feel like if you choose to sort of run free like this wild horse that you can in the year 2020, there may be moments when you feel sort of alone, but this is a good year to really use that time of isolation to think about, what's my heart's desire? How can I separate my heart's desire with what I think other people want out of life? Because you're going to be much happier if you are really going after what you want out of life rather than being too influenced by what other people seem to want. We also have Ask for a Sign and the Miriam, Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. And I feel like with that message, love has no boundaries, with this being a 5 personal year, I think there's also a message of you can love people while not being restricted by them. They're friends, family members, there are people in our life, whether they recognize this consciously or not, but there are people who kind of do want to control our life choices. Humans in general are kind of control freaks, some people more than others. And you can love someone without letting them define what your life is or what life choices you want to make. I feel like you are meant to be asking yourself for a sign. You're meant to be going within and really connecting to your own higher self to understand what's best for you. What else do we have here? We have the 3 of Wands. Okay. So I feel like you're being asked here to sort of like think of yourself as a student of life. This is a really interesting year for you. I think sort of like in terms of your perspective on life, you're really going to be understanding who you are and what you're here to do, and more than you have in the past. But it's sort of like a contemplative, I don't normally think of the 5 personal year this way, but the way the cards are coming up to support it, this is a year of a lot of solitude and like really being your own teacher, but also allowing life to be a teacher for you. I feel like by the end of the year, though, everything's just going to make more sense to you. Why you're here on this planet, what you're meant to be doing. So I feel like it actually might be, in a way, sort of a quiet 5-year for you guys. All right, so I hope that that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to move on to the 6th personal year. All right, if you're watching in the live stream and you're a little bit confused about what's happening, you might just want to read the description area. I think that it should be filled out the way that I wanted it to be. So this is going to be for people who are having a 6th personal year in 2020. So what is the 6th year about? 6 years are all about family life, home life, any kind of interpersonal relationships, but especially like close bonded personal relationships. It can be a year when new family members come into your life, you know, either through marriage or through births. New people can come into your life. It can be a year when you form relationships. It can also be a year when you learn about codependence. That's what my last 6th personal year was for me. It was very much about that. And the 6th personal year in 2009 was a year in which my niece was born. So she was a very special family member to me. So those are some of the things you can experience in a 6th year. I have chosen the swan spirit animal to deliver a message and also serve as your companion for the year if you like to work with spirit animals. And the swan says you'll be glowing this year and many will view you as an attractive, desirable mate. Expect big developments in the areas of family and personal relationships. Yeah, so just like that swan who thought he was an ugly duckling, you're going to grow up to be this beautiful swan in the year 2020, and people are going to be so attracted to you. Not in a casual way, but like people are really going to see you as an ideal mate this year. So you're going to be attracting a lot of attention. So how best can you take advantage of 2020? We have the slave archetype, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So this is a year when you're really going to have faith that things are going to work out for you in the way that you're hoping. You know, it might feel a little bit like fate is against you at some times this year, I'm feeling like. And the more you can trust that your guides and angels have your back, the more you can trust that life is good, because I feel like with this card coming up, there's going to be some really difficult moments, and it's going to feel like you're kind of getting jerked around by life. So, continuing to have faith and trust that things will turn out for the best is going to be very important to you. Ooh, self-reflection. So I do feel, we talked about how the 6th personal year can be a year where you can kind of overcome some codependent or dysfunctional or unhealthy relationship behaviors. And this can be with anyone, friends, family, lovers, whoever, coworkers, bosses, doesn't matter. It's a year for you to really understand your place in that dysfunction. Any kind of dysfunctional interpersonal stuff that you have going on this year will help you to see your role in it so that you can make adjustments, because you can't change other people. You can change your own behavior. And I feel like this is going to be a year when you understand how to do that better so that you can start having better, more functional, healthy relationships with good boundaries. We also have Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Yeah, so expect the best possible outcome. It's kind of the same as this. Completely trusting the divine and expecting the best. I think that also if any of you have difficult interpersonal relationships this year, this is also asking you to try to expect the best possible outcome from those situations as well. That they are going to be healed this year. Relationships in general and your ability to form healthy relationships are going to be a real major focus of the year. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and Healing, which I believe is the King of Cups in this deck. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. So I feel like you guys have been very patient when it comes to having the dream relationship. Or if you're already in that relationship, then you've been very patient with it because there are some things within that relationship that need to heal. The message here as well is that the reason this patience has been required in order for you to get to this beautiful dream of a romantic relationship that you've been seeking is because there was so much healing that needed to occur. They want you to understand that if you don't achieve that relationship this year, that's also the case. You know, there's just so much healing that is happening in the year, and it is bringing you closer and closer towards that beautiful love life that you've always been seeking. So that's an interesting message. All right, so thanks for everyone who watched the personal year number 6. I hope that was helpful for you. So next we're going to look at the personal year 7. This is actually the year that I'm coming out of. 2019 was a personal year 7 for me. So what is a 7 personal year normally comprised of? Well, it's a lot of solitude. You know, there might be some things in your life that create the need for greater solitude. You might feel more isolated from other people. There may have been people in the previous year for you guys in 2019, maybe there were relationships that ended or that are hurting now because of the healing process you're going through with those people. Maybe that's what's making you spend more time alone in your 7 personal year. But it is a really good year for introspection. It's a very spiritual year because you're going to be learning a lot of spiritual lessons, but it's going to require you to go within and really spend some time in solitude in order to find those lessons. Okay, so the hermit crab is the spirit animal I chose to accompany you guys this year, and the hermit crab has a message for you. This is a year to celebrate personal growth and time spent in solitude. You'll be moving on from people and situations that haven't served you, and you're learning a lot about yourself in the process. By the end of this year, you'll see yourself as a more deserving see yourself as more deserving of great things in life. I wrote these spirit animal messages down earlier. Okay, I love working with spirit animals. I think they have so much wisdom to provide us with. So let's see what else you can do to take best advantage of the year 2020. Ooh, Rebel. Challenges authority to effect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Yeah, so kind of like this woman here. She's all on her own, but she's very comfortable with herself. This is going to be a year when you feel comfortable with yourself. You don't have to have people around to drown out the quote-unquote noise of you because you're going to enjoy yourself more this year. And you don't need anyone telling you what to believe or how you should live your life. This is similar to what the 5 personal year was about. I feel like the 5 personal year people and the 7 personal year people, their energies are mixing a little bit. Yeah, so it's going to be very spiritual, but it's going to be about your own spirituality, not what someone else tells you to believe. You're going to really be understanding your own beliefs better by the end of this year as well. Patience. Commander Ashtar, call to action. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. Interesting. I feel like you guys are going to realize that you yourselves are spiritual leaders in some way, that you have some sort of spiritual authority, and it's because of this wisdom that you have inherently within you. You know, you are meant to be showing yourself as an example to other people in terms of your own spiritual integrity and what you believe in spiritually. So this is very interesting. You're going to be spiritual elders this year, or you're going to be learning more how to take on that role of spiritual elder or teacher. And And I feel like you're going to have to be patient with yourself in this process because I think you're also learning to trust your own authority as it relates to your spirituality. So we also have the Strength card, the Four of Wands, and the Fool card. I feel like, we talked about how the 7 personal year is often a year where you're going to be spending more time alone. I think that you guys are actually going to be still participating quite a bit with other people, but those periods of solitude are really going to provide you with the strength that you need in order to approach life with open arms and to approach participation with other people with greater open arms. I feel like you guys maybe have had some difficult experiences in the 6th personal year as it relates to relationships. And this year, you're going to be sort of healing from that and starting to slowly trust more. So I feel like by the end of the year, you're going to feel more trusting of other people because in a way, you've been patient with yourself and you've learned to trust yourself more first and foremost. All right, so that's what I see for the 7 personal year. Moving right along, the 8 personal year. This is actually the personal year that 2020 will be for yours truly, an 8 personal year. So what is an 8 personal year all about? It is a year of rapid fire opportunities. So life is really going to be making beautiful and amazing changes for you this year. And things are going to be happening very quickly. It's like opportunities are going to be falling out of the sky. They're not really going to be falling out of the sky. It's because everything you've been doing up until this 8 personal year has led you to these opportunities. But this is sort of like the time to collect. It's time for the harvest. And you're going to be needing to have lots of energy this year in order to harvest all of those wonderful rewards that you have set up for yourself to be collected. So the spirit animal that I've chosen to represent the 8 personal rooster is a wonderful spirit animal. I find myself to time. That's cool, Singer or Ginger. Sorry. So the 8 personal year. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the live chat. The rooster is a great spirit animal to call on anytime you have a lot of different projects going on. And this is going to be one of those years. You'll be having lots of different things going on that require your energy and attention, your focus, your effort. And to take best advantage of the year, the rooster spirit animal can kind of help you figure out how to get it all done. This is also going to require you making choices. Where do I want to spend my time and energy, and where do I want to not spend my time and energy so that I can get the most out of this? This is a very interesting year. Okay, so how else can you take advantage of this year? We have the Knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Well, I think you want to try to be as honorable a person as possible. Let's see what else comes up. So I think there's more of a message there, but I'm not sure yet. We also have explore. Ooh, and Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. And the 8 personal year really is a chance to soar. I feel like you need to take advantage of this year by pushing yourself to do things that you have not done before. If there's any fear holding you back, sometimes it can just be the fear of I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to spend the time or the money or whatever on myself in order to have this new experience. But the thing is, this is a year of opportunities, and you're going to be presented with the opportunity to do lots of new adventurous things that you haven't done before, and this is the year to, break through and do that. I feel like, let's see what more about what this loyalty means. Oh, we have the Lovers. Okay, something is going to be happening in your love life this year. Okay. I feel like you need to be receptive to romantic love entering your life this year, or some sort of major improvement happening in your love life in 2020. And I think that based on your previous experiences in romance, maybe you just kind of feel like you've given up on that, or there are lots of fears that you need to push past in order to be receptive. Something interesting is going to be happening, and this reading isn't meant to be predictive exactly, but it seems like there's a bit of a prediction being made here. And I feel like you need to really honor what you really most want out of that aspect of your life, out of your romantic life. You know, so if you're not really interested in someone, but they come along and present themselves as an opportunity, don't just string that person along and pretend to be interested. This is a year to really be in alignment with your actual ideals, you know, so wasting time with something that isn't really what you want in romance, or with someone who isn't who you really want, that is not the best use of this 8 personal year for you guys. Yeah, I think you're going to be exploring romantic love more this year. So this is interesting. As I said, this is an 8 personal year for me. Who knows? We'll see. I'll keep you updated, maybe, or maybe not. Anyway, if you're watching and this is an 8 personal year, I guess this is going to be a good year for love for us. Let's see what will happen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on now to number 9s. All right, for everyone who chose, if you're having a 9 personal year in 2020, what is the 9 personal year about? Well, it's the end of your 9-year cycle. So in the numerology personal years, it's always a 9-year cycle. Even if you happen to have that 11 or 22 or 33 personal year pop up from time to time. The cycle itself is in 9 years. So 9 is the end. You know, it's like you've reached your destination and you have to get off. And then you have to decide, well, what am I going to do now? So the spirit animal that I've chosen to represent you in your personal year number 9 is the caterpillar. You know, people love to talk about the butterfly spirit animal. It's a beautiful animal. You know, it makes sense that people love to embrace the energy of the butterfly. But who is the butterfly really? Inherently, she is the caterpillar, which is the form in which she began. And the caterpillar spends its time eating and then preparing a cocoon and then entering that cocoon, because she knows that this is a process that is required. She has to go through this it's almost like a symbolic death, like entering this coffin so that she can be reborn. So the 9 personal year is a year for you to prepare to really let go and shed everything that no longer serves you, and really tie up all of the loose ends of everything you've been trying to accomplish over the last several years. All right. So what else can you guys do to embrace this 9 personal year? Poet. Friendship, interesting. Lady Nada, heart awakening. Awaken to the acceptance and divine love. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Wow, well, this is a beautiful year to really embrace life in a very poetic way. You know, like the phrase poetic justice is coming to mind. Things are going to be ending, and endings can be kind of bittersweet, right? And I think, you know, with the word poet here, you know, understanding the symbolism of what's happening in your life is very important this year. You know, if it seems bittersweet, focus on the sweet, you know. Sometimes it's nice to release something. It's symbolic. It's symbolic of karma that's being released as well. The number 9 is also a year when a lot of karma is going to be resolved. And I feel like the karma that's being resolved this year is actually going to improve your friendships. I feel like focusing on friendships that are really supportive and any kind of strong interpersonal bond with which has a basis of friendship is going to be really helpful to you this year. Because yes, some things are ending, but some things are going to remain and bridge the gap between the past 9 years and the 9 years that are beginning in 2020. That are going to be beginning in 2021 for you. And I feel like your friendships and your close personal bonds are going to be kind of like the glue that helps you to bridge this transformation into a new phase of life. Yeah, we are the world. 10 of Pentacles. We have breakthrough and transformation. This is going to be such a beautiful pathway to you. It's like a beautiful bridge that you are going across in your life. This whole 9 personal year is like a beautiful bridge. And I feel like your guides want you to see that, sometimes crossing this bridge is going to feel like walking across hot coals. But why do people do that? Why do people put themselves through that situation of walking across hot coals? It's because they're trying to find some sort of personal or spiritual breakthrough. I feel like for you guys, this bridge is really about feeling connected to people one-to-one, but also connected to people worldwide, in this sense of humanity, this sense of oneness, not even worldwide, but universally, feeling connected to all that is. This is going to be a very transformative year, and it's really going to break down certain things so that you can start building your life back in a way that serves you better. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you guys who have a 9 personal year. What about you guys with the 11 personal year? Anybody in the live stream having an 11 personal year? Let me know. So what is the 11 personal year about in general? Sorry, I was pausing to look at the live stream comments. So what's the 11 personal year about in general? It is a year where you're going to be very connected to your intuition, kind of like a 2 personal year, because 1 + 1 = 2. This is a higher vibration of the number 2. It is about intuition and balance. It's also about being in touch with your divine guidance. This will be definitely a year of increased psychic activity for you. But it's also about utilizing your intuition, not just for your personal needs, but realizing that, you have a purpose in life that serves the whole. And the spirit animal that I have chosen to be your guide for the year, if you choose to work with this animal, is the scarab beetle. Beetles are very high frequency, multi-dimensional. They have access to higher dimensions than most humans do. And as a spirit animal, it can be an animal that can help connect you with that higher dimensional awareness as well. So you may, over the course of your 11 personal year, become closer to being in touch with the 5th dimension, being able to see beyond the veil of what living in the lower dimensions has taught us is reality, and starting to understand that reality is actually much more advanced than what we have been allowing ourselves to perceive. So the scarab beetle wants to say, your intuition will be very on point to this year, allowing you to take calculated risks towards your heart's desire. You can make great advances in your psychic abilities this year if that is an interest of yours. So how else can you take advantage of 2020? Visionary, yeah. This is very much an 11 energy. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. What did I just say? It's about understanding higher dimensional awareness. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Yes, it's very much the number 11 personal year. It's really seeing that life is um, more than just about our own selfish needs. It's about really caring about humanity and the whole. Someone in the live stream is asking if this is a numerology reading. It's a combination numerology, tarot, and oracle card reading. You're going to choose the number that corresponds with your personal year for 2020. All right, so how else can a personal year 11 take advantage of 2020? Release and relax. You know, I think you're going to have some very far out experiences this year, and it's going to stress you out a little bit sometimes. When we increase our psychic ability, it can be a little bit scary. And I think that you're being asked to sort of like just allow yourself to be more comfortable with, okay, life is a little more interesting than what I thought it to be. And I can start to trust in my guides more, trust in my angelic, support. We also have Krishna, devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. What did I just say? Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. So there may be times when your intuition is tested as well, and are you going to be someone who lets the stress of that get to you so that you fall off from trying to, participate in creating a better world? Or are you going to, double down and be extra devoted and say, you know what, we're all kind of stressed out because the world needs to be a better place. And because of that, I really need to maintain a strong focus on doing what needs to be done in order to heal this world. We have the Nine of Pentacles, ripeness, the Five of Cups, clinging to the past, and the Three of Pentacles, guidance. I feel like for you guys, it's going to be such a big year, like changing your perspective on what the world is and what life is all about. Sometimes you're going to want to cling to the old ways before you had this greater spiritual awareness. You're going to think ignorance is bliss at certain times. But I feel like, you're really ripening in your ability to serve humanity and to live this purposeful life and to make the most out of your life. And I think if you can relax and trust that even though sometimes it's scary, having a greater awareness of life is still better for you, you're going to realize that you have a lot of work to do and you have a lot of heavenly divine support around you at all times, wanting to assist you in this process of, doing something important with your life. And this year is going to be a very momentous year in terms of really doing something meaningful that serves the collective. All right, so that's what I have for the 11 personal year people. About the 22. Now, I listed several dates down in the description box below. If your birthday is any of those dates, then this is going to be a 22 personal year for you. So what is a 22 year about? This is the higher vibration of the number 4. So it is a year of responsibility and hard work and laying down firm foundations. But it's about laying firm foundations not just for your personal self, but much like the 11 personal year, it's about really thinking about the collective. This is a very high vibrational energy. So the animal that I want to serve as your spirit guide for the year is the elephant. And the elephant says, family structures will be your support system this year, so please take advantage of them. This is a year when you take your role as a world citizen seriously, leading you to stand up for the betterment of all. So how can people with a 22 personal year make best use of the year 2020? Yeah, servant. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. That's what this year is all about. It's really serving the whole. Working hard, but working hard in service of humanity. So just embrace that this is what this year is for. You are loved. You know, you're going to be doing a lot for other people, and sometimes you may feel like other people just aren't doing that much for you. It may make you forget that you are loved. It may make you forget sometimes why you're even doing these good works to begin with. So I feel like if you can remind yourself that you are loved, that you are loved as much as you are capable of loving or more, you need to just constantly remind yourself. We also have Lord Shiva, Transcendence. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Yeah, so all you really have to do is what you're being guided to do. Take steps. You know, the 22 year can be a little bit imposing because it feels like, ooh, there's a lot being expected of me. And there kind of is. But at the same time, the steps are being given. So you're not going to have to figure it out all on your own. You're being provided with the opportunities and the insight and the awareness so that you'll know which steps to take towards serving humanity. This is a year of making people understand how much they are loved. And in the process, I guarantee that you will understand how much you are loved as well. It's going to be hard, though, sometimes. We have the 9 of Swords, the 8 of Swords. We have Going with the Flow, which I believe is the Ace of Cups in this deck. This is the Osho Zen Tarot deck. There are going to be times when this is a very stressful year. You're going to feel like you're not doing enough because you're going to understand how important it is for you to achieve something wonderful that really matters. And that's a lot to live up to. But I think that what you need to do is, when you have those moments of feeling lost, just let yourself go with the current of life. This is really going to be a year of trusting, trusting that you will understand what steps to take, trusting that opportunities and resources that you'll need in order to take those steps will be given, that will be provided. It's also a year to understand that even when things seem stressful and life doesn't seem to be going your way, there's a purpose for that. And part of going with the flow is understanding the purpose of the apparent obstacles that have been placed before us. Many times those obstacles are really just a detour trying to move us in a different direction that we wouldn't have gone through unless that obstacle had come up. So the obstacle is actually an opportunity to discover something that you needed to discover. All right, so this is your year for 2020. If you're a 22 personal year, I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. And finally, just for those July 22nd people, the 33 personal year. I'm interested to see how many of you actually are 33 personal years out there. I believe it is July 22nd, right? Yes, July 22nd. If you're born on that day, this is a 33 personal year. So the spirit animal that I've chosen to represent you is the bee. So to explain the energy of this month, the bumblebee would like to say, community and communal endeavors will take center stage for you this year. You'll see that working collaboratively yields greater results than working alone. Expect this to be a very outgoing, interactive year. So you're going to be working a lot with other people in order to make great, wonderful things happen. So if this is your personal year for 2020, how can you best take advantage of that? Ooh, Goddess. The goddess energy is a very feminine number 3 energy. It says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So this is a really good year to be in touch with your divine feminine energy. And whether you're male or female or otherly gendered, I mean, we all have a femininity within us. We all have connection to feminine energy. And you are really going to need to embrace your feminine energy and honor and respect your feminine energy in 2020. We also have divine purpose. I feel like you're going to be really joyful to understand your role in some sort of collective divine purpose. Wow, the Shekinah is also like a very strong divine feminine energy. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. This is really a year for you guys of realizing that you are a gift. You are a gift to the collective. You have special talents and abilities and wisdom that nobody else has. And you're going to see the beauty and the joy of sharing all of those talents with other people. Sometimes you might try to compare yourself to other people and think that you fall short, but you need to understand you aren't falling short. You're just different. We have a tree here, and then we have bamboo, you know, like trees and bamboo are both useful in different ways, different but similar ways. So it's not that one is better than the other. If you try to compare yourself to other people this year, you're going to have some difficulty because this is a collaborative year. You know, whether it's obvious that you're working with someone or not, you're working with everyone to create this better world. And if you are, you know, participating too much in comparing yourself to other people, thinking you have to be better or thinking you're not good enough because you're not like someone else, then that interferes energetically even with your ability to collaboratively co-create a heaven on earth or just a better world experience for all of us. We get 6 of Swords, the burden, and then we get the Master. You know, and I think it's pointing back towards this idea of a comparison that when you put this burden on yourself of needing to be what someone else is or achieve what someone else appears to have achieved, then you're carrying that person on your back as a greater burden or obstacle, when in reality, the two of you can be working together, you know? And like I said, sometimes that might be actually working together. Sometimes it's just more on an energetic level, that if you are in the energy of collaboration, then you're going to be energetically in support of what is best for everyone, what's in the highest good of all. So I feel like you're going to have so much greater spiritual awareness throughout this year when it comes to, you know, seeing the beauty of your own divine feminine energy and really believing in that in a way that is ego-less. You know, you're really going to achieve a great deal of spiritual mastery this year. So that pretty much sums up this reading. We've covered all of the personal year numbers. So I really hope that you guys found that helpful. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.